Hello everyone, my name is Prasanjit. Welcome to this video about Duet AI Playbooks. In this video, we'll learn about Google Cloud networking empowered by Duet AI. So first of all, we go on to enable Duet AI APIs. So we'll go to Cloud Shell and set up our project first, and then enable the APIs. So first of all, we'll wait for the Cloud Shell system to get started. So here we are, here we have the prompt here. So I'll set the project ID and the region variables. So here we are done. Next we'll set up the user variable so that we can store the signed in Google user account as an environment variable, and then enable the Cloud AI Companion API so that we have Duet AI working. Now we will run the G-Cloud projects add IAM policy binding commands in order to get the policies set. Now we are good to go and learn about Duet AI and cloud networking. So here I open the chat window for the Duet AI, and we can put in a prompt to explain IP addressing setup in Google Cloud. So I'll do just that, and it tells us how we can create IP addresses, what are the different kinds of IP addresses, and so on, and all that along with links and citations of the sources, so you get a comprehensive information about IP addressing in Google Cloud, which is wonderful. I mean, you do not have to go to any other website outside the Cloud Console to do that. So really helpful, and you can even click on those links, and if you want further information, you can go through the exhaustive documentation that is available. So you do not have to search the internet or Stack Overflow or anything else external to G-Cloud. And here are some of the sources from which it sourced the answer from, and further related content are also cited here. So which is great. Now we can go in and ask another question: how can I create a network that uses IPv4 and IPv6 addresses? And it'll again show as the response with those details and references and citations. So this is really amazing. Like, you also get to know how to create a dual stack as well, and the dual stack subnet can contain both the IPv4 and IPv6 addresses. And here we are, some further references. So really useful as a network engineer or an architect to know deeper about the topics and then apply them on the design. Well, so I will be prompting to tell me something about cloud firewalls, and here we are with the answers. It tells us about cloud firewalls, intrusion prevention systems, network intelligence center on Google Cloud, and the VPC service controls that are available. And again, there is always a source citation present there. So where are the best practices around private network? So that's the question. And here we get some best practices around private network: to use a strong password, two-factor authentication, keeping software up to date, and so on. So we also can go on and ask more questions around how netting works in Google Cloud. So it gives us with the description of Cloud NAT, and also provides the Google Cloud documentation around it. This is really awesome, and From the documentation, we exactly land into the CloudNet documentation and we can go through all the references and resources out there. Similarly, if we want to learn about BGP or Border Gateway Protocol, we can do just that. I'll just type in a prompt around that. So, does Google Cloud use BGP? And it tells us yes, it does, and Cloud Router is the solution and how it is implemented there, and again links to further documentation. Similarly, we can also get to know other details about Google Cloud networking topics. So for example, I ask about a documentation to create a VPC network from scratch. Let's see what turns out. Here we are, we get the steps to do just that. So these decrease the number of support tickets that you create and the amount of time that you spend over the internet to get a blog or an official document around this topic. So DuetAI acts as a companion and helps you deep dive into each of these topics and exactly pinpoints where you have the solution in the documentation. This will become very useful as the services grow complex by the day and the number of services grow in the cloud landscape. So very useful companion for those who are operating in the network space. So now let's get into creating a private net VPC network and see how DuetAI can assist us do that. So I'll go to the VPC networks and there I click on create private network. I'll enter a name, say private net, and other details for creating IPv6 and subnet creation. So I'll go through all the default settings, change only when it's required. So I'll try to enable the IPv4 here. I want to create a dual stack network and see, because now I'm aware of dual stack, having gone through those documents that DuetAI recommended. So I'll fill in these details. Private net, subnet, US, then here I won't have the description, not needed. Only I'll fill up the mandatory fields. Region, yes. I'll set that up. Should be US ist 4 as per the documentation. Here I'll put in the dual stack. And in the IPv4 range, since I'm following Quick Labs, I'll follow the pattern that they have recommended. So I put in the subnets and internal. And I think we are done. So now we have our private subnet configuration set, and we'll have it created very soon. So here we are, these are the firewall rules. These are the IPv6 firewall rules. Now essentially it will create our private net VPC network. Okay, so while it is getting created, we'll just wait for a while and we'll be able to follow. Yeah, it's done. Now we refresh the screen and so here we have the private net. Now I'll go into DuetAI and just ask it how to get a network list. So how do I check my networks in Google Cloud using G-Cloud CLI? So it gives me suggestions for certain G-Cloud commands. So I'll run the command G-Cloud compute networks list. So here you can either copy or directly click on this terminal icon to copy on the command on the Cloud Shell and run it. So here we are. We have the private net created and there is one default one which was already there. So that's how you check your compute networks from the list. So as you could see, DuetAI was your AI companion throughout the steps and helps you get those commands, run them. You can see here I did a describe of the private net to get deeper details about the network. So that is it from me. Thank you.